Guys, I finally have my Midnight Library book. I literally bought this yesterday. I bought this yesterday because my sister, my two best friends, and myself, we formed a book club, and it's called the Bookyardigans on Fable. I didn't create it. I did not come up with that lovely little name. My sissy did. But yeah, she made us, or she created a book club. And so the first book that we're reading is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Haig? I don't know how to pronounce it. But this is the first book of our book club, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I think what we're gonna be doing is mood reading, because I don't want my sissy to be reading this by herself and have nobody to share it with. And I didn't want that for myself either. So I wanted to wait until she started reading it before I bought it and start reading it. Because I don't know about you, but like if I'm in a book club, if I'm the only person reading a book, it's not that much fun. And I realize like everybody reads at their own pace, but I know me, when I know other people are reading, or if we have like a commitment to do something, I'm gonna commit to it once I know that at least one other person is doing it, because I don't want to do it by myself. It's not fun. Anyway, she started reading this I don't know when she started reading this, like a day or 2 days ago or something like that. And I just immediately went on Amazon, I bought the book, and now it's here. So we're gonna start reading it. I'm so excited. It's a very, like, holding this, it's so light. I don't know if that's a weird comment to make. It feels short. It feels like a short read. Here, I'm gonna read the little synopsis. We all have regrets, choices we could have made differently, paths we didn't take, other lives we might have led. But what if you were given a chance to fix your past? Enter the Midnight Library. Ooh, that sounds good. Nora's life has been going from bad to worse. Then at the stroke of midnight on her last day on Earth, she finds herself transported to the Midnight Library, where each book contains an alternate life, a possible world in which she made different choices. She's given what seems like the ultimate opportunity, a chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived, but things aren't always what she imagined they'd be, and soon her choices place the library and herself in extreme danger. Before time runs out, she must answer the ultimate question. With infinite choices, what is the best way to live? So before I bought this, I had no idea what this book would have been like about at all. In my head, I thought this was gonna be like quite literally somebody going to a midnight library and like they meet somebody, and it was gonna be like maybe a short little romance. But I had no idea that it was gonna be like that kind of, how would I say this? Like reading that, I'm so surprised, because I really did not think that that's what this book was about. I literally had no idea what this book was about when I bought it. I had no idea, which I honestly love, because like this seems like a good little palate cleanser. I'm currently reading 2 books right now, and my goal is to finish those this month before May, but I need a quick little palate cleanser. I've been reading Happy Place by Emily Henry on my audiobook on Spotify, and that's been going really well. It has not been going by bad by any means, but why not add another book to the mix? Why not? I'm reading 3-4 other books, and why not add another one? I don't know what I'm doing, honestly, at this point. I have to read it. We have to read it. So we're gonna read this. I will check back with you guys soon once I've gotten a little bit into it. The Midnight Library. That's so funny. So literally on the first page, I'm not ruining anything, but on the first page she goes, for instance, when she was a baby, her mother had been so worried Nora's left ear stuck out more than her right that she'd used sticky tape to address the situation, then disguised it beneath a woolen bonnet. This is just relatable to me, because my right ear sticks out more than my left, and I used to be so hyper aware of it. Now I love it. I'm like, my ears stick out. I love it. This is like a thing I accept, and I love how quirky they are. I don't know why I want to share that, but I just want to share that. that's so sad. That's so sad. Oh, that gave me chills. That gave me chills. I need to annotate this. I think I might annotate this. I've never really chosen to annotate a book before, but I kind of want to. I don't remember the last time I ever annotated a book. So we're gonna grab our pen and we're gonna annotate. Where on my pen? I like annotating like little, I don't want to call this a contemporary read, but I like to, I don't even know what kind of book this is. Ooh, what color should I do? These are my favorite kind of pens, guys. I kind of want to, this one is like violet or pink. Violet, I think I should, we're gonna do violet. We're gonna annotate with violet. Friends, today's Monday, man. I've been so productive today. I got my cleaning done, literally just deep clean the house. I've been reading this book, and mind you, I have not read a lot. I'm on page 17 right now, so we're literally in the beginning still, but I wanted to share some thoughts that I had. I can tell that this is gonna be a good book. The reason why I can tell it's gonna be good is because it started off so gloomy. And the last book I read that started off gloomy, like gloomy doomy vibes like this, was If Only He Had Been With Me. And when I tell you, that was the first book that I read that got me into, I wanna say like, I don't even know the genre I would call that book, but it got me into like contemporary reading. I don't even know if that's the term, but that book started off very gloomy. It started off sad. It started off just depressing. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I didn't like that initially. Like I was like, this is just so depressing, and the writing style, like it was hard for me to get into that book initially. And then when certain things started happening in that book, I was like, whoa, I love this. Like this has such deep layers to this story. And I can tell that low-key this book is gonna give me maybe, I mean, I'm just guessing, but I think it's gonna be kind of similar to that. And I might end up really loving this book. It's very easy to read. It's quick, short little chapters. Like the chapters are, I don't even wanna say they're chapters. Like they're just certain little, the chapter name and then like maybe one page, or some of them are 2 pages, but it's not long by any means. Like I can tell like I can binge this tonight if I wanted to. Who knows, maybe we will, because I feel like I could read this really fast, but I really like it. I love books that make me feel gloomy doomy. It's just, it feels really genuine and it feels very relatable. You know what I mean? That's the term I'm looking for. It feels very relatable, the things that I'm reading, and I like it so far. I really hope that I continue to like it. Like I feel like these kind of books, if they start off sad or gloomy, it's a hit or miss. I don't know. We're gonna continue reading. Not right now though, because I have to go to work. It's 2:55, so I have a good 10, 20, I want to say 15, 20 minutes to get ready for work. So I'm gonna try to finish the reading a lot more of this tonight when I'm off, and then hopefully jump into editing. We will see. I don't really know what the plans are for today. So I really hope when I come home after work that I have the energy to read, because I usually don't. That was so good. I love how I'm saying that was so good and that was so low-key sad. Progress update. I'm on page 59. This book is about this girl. Her name is Nora. Pretty much in the beginning of the book, she decided that trigger warning. It talks about suicide a lot in the beginning of this book, because she kind of has decided that she just wants to leave this world. And then she ended up, you know, going forward with this action to end her life. And then she woke up, and then she ended up being in this place called the Midnight Library, and she was greeted by this lady named Miss Elm. And Miss Elm basically explained she's in this period between life and death right now. Miss Elm basically was like, here's these books, and all of these books represents different lives you could have lived. So the first book she picked up was like something around the like book of regrets or something, and she jumped into one of her regrets, and one of her regrets was not or marrying her then fiance. And so it covered her jumping into a life if she was still with him. And it's just crazy because it made me realize, like, even if you have regrets about the decisions you've made and where you could be, like, at the end of the day, you don't know how your life is gonna end up, which is just, it's very eye-opening, because I feel like to this day, I live my life sometimes with regrets, and I'm always like, I regret not doing this. I regret not being in sports as a young kid. But like, let's say I was in sports. I could have sucked, man. I could have sucked, or I could have ended up hating it and realizing it's not something for me. But in my mind, all I'm thinking about is I regret not doing it, because I have this idea that it could have been the biggest, most amazing thing. But what if it wasn't? It just made me realize, even if you have regrets, you shouldn't dwell on them for too long, because you just never know. We think things could have been amazing, and then we put our regrets on a high pedestal in terms of like, our life could have been this, but we're down here. Instead of thinking of it like, if you chose that life, you don't know where it could have gone. You just don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading this. I'm on page 60 now. I'm flying through this book so freaking fast, man. Like, I'm on page 60, which I don't know if you can see. This is how much I've read. So I've read through this a lot. I'm gonna try to read halfway. Like, I know that sounds crazy. That probably does not sound crazy. To me, that sounds crazy. Yeah, we're gonna continue reading. I really like the book so far. It's gloomy. The vibe of it is very, hold on, I need to pause. I need water. We're gonna drink some water. Yeah, just for anybody that is interested in reading this, right? Look up the trigger warnings for this, because I feel like brought up a lot of things that might, it might trigger you. So just be wary of that. But page 1. Okay, something crazy in this book just happened. I did not expect, like, the way that the story took a toll. And for those of you that have read this book, you're probably like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In like previously, not even previously, before I read this, after reading this for a bit, I got a vibe of where the story was going, right? I mean, I was like, okay, this is gonna be about this, and it's gonna have this kind of meaning and this kind of realization, and the story's gonna unfold this way. So I have had theories, where the story's gonna go. But it just took like a toll and a twist in terms of the plot that I was like, whoa, wait a second. Now I'm really confused where this could be going, because for the kind of change in the story that it just took, it took me back for a minute, and I was like, wait a second, that's so weird. I'm just so shocked right now. That's crazy. That's crazy. I love this book because, one, the chapters are so short. They are literally a page, maybe half, a few paragraphs. It really differs from chapter to chapter. I don't even want to call it a chapter, just it's keeping me hooked. New little plot twist just got added in. I feel like now I'm definitely not going to put it down. Like, I haven't been able to put this book, like, I feel like when I jump into this book, I get sucked in for quite a bit, which I like, because I hate it whenever I'm reading certain books and I get bored of maybe, let's say, a scene that's happening, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna put it down, and then it takes me maybe like a day or two to pick it back up. But this book, it's like, I'm excited every time I finish a chapter or finish a part. I'm really excited as to what's gonna happen next. So I feel like I'm picking it up more often and taking less breaks, which is really helping me get out of this slump, because this slump has been kind of weird, because I feel like I should have been able to finish my previous books that I still have not yet finished. But this is a really nice little palate cleanser to get my brain out of this funk. Anyway, we're gonna keep reading because I really need to figure out it is gonna happen. Oh my God, I'm still so shocked. What is up, friends? I am reading the last few pages of this book, which I am so shocked by. Okay, the exposure on this is insane. So we're gonna put you over here. I'm on page 217 out of 288. I can't do the math, but I want to say that's under or like 70 pages left. It feels so weird that I only have this amount left. I'm gonna try to read half of it. Like, I want to read half of this chunk and then maybe get through the rest of it tonight. But who knows? I might just finish this right now. We will see. Very excited to see how this ends because the most recent like plot twist in it left me really confused. I'm really kind of curious how this story is gonna wrap up, and I'm also curious if this is like a standalone novel or the amount of pages that I have left. I feel like the story won't wrap up completely in all this, but like, who knows, maybe it will. Also, I have my really cute Groovy cup. Groovy girl is back. Hi, Groovy girl. Groovy girl's back. She's groovy, all right. That is so funny. This one sentence, it says, well, yes, but now you are lost within your lostness. I don't know why, that just is funny to me, and that's so relatable. I'm kind of sad, guys. I'm a little bit sad because I already know this is gonna be the last time I pick up this book. I'm on page 262 right now out of 280. I don't wanna look at the last page. Yep, 288. 262 out of 288. That's insane. Let's get to reading The Midnight Library. I'm gonna miss this book. I'm gonna miss it. Anyway. Oh. Oh my God, I think I'm gonna cry. That's so sad. Oh my God. That's so good. That's so good. Freaking frog. Yep, exactly. Have to be patient. Just be patient, man. Oh my God, I need to blow my nose, man. I'm so sniffly right now. Good morning, friends. I think the last time I spoke to you guys was when I finished the book. And I kid you not, I was on the last page and my camera died. Or you saw me reading like that last page and then the camera cut off. So that was unfortunate. I have officially finished The Midnight Library. I never gave you guys a proper rundown on my thoughts on the book after I finished it. So let's just jump right into it. What I liked about this book was the chapters were pretty quick. Pages are literally like that's the name of the chapter, and that's literally all it is. And some of them are short like that, some of them are a few more pages. I feel like that also helped me read through it a lot because I didn't feel like I had to read, let's say 10, 15 pages and get to the next chapter. I like it when books are a little bit more faster paced and they're shorter chapters because it kind of makes me want to keep reading it in a way. What else did I love? I definitely loved the lessons that were presented in the book. I feel like they were very relatable to me because as someone that's in their, oh my God, I'm literally about to be mid-20. I'm 24, I'm turning 25 this year. That's crazy, man. As somebody who's in their mid-20s pretty much, I feel like I'm going through a lot of similar feelings that maybe she felt and dealing with self-doubt. So it was nice to read from a point of view of somebody that was going through similar things and things that I could relate to. If I read this when I was in high school, it would have affected affected me still, but it wouldn't be the same versus me reading it now. A third thing that I liked a lot from this book is it was a book that wasn't necessarily heavily focused on the romance. You would get certain chapters that would cover romance focused areas of her life, yes, but it wasn't heavily like doused in romance that I'm used to. Like I feel like usually I pick up a fantasy read or let's say ACOTAR for a reason, and I know for a fact like I'm gonna be thrown into romance, flirty banter, things like that. But this book, it wasn't heavily on that, which I'm grateful for, because I like having books where I can get a little bit more than the romance and I'm getting a lot more of the messages and the meanings behind, and it's a nice little refresher for me. I very much always reach for the romance. If a book doesn't have romance, I don't like it. But it's nice not to have a book that's like that, because it helps me. It's growing my reading palette. I feel like I can always learn something new, and when I'm reaching for books that I don't necessarily read all the time, or like genres that I don't necessarily reach for, the book tends to impact me in a way. Or I should do that more often. This book, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like, when I was reading it, I was like, okay, this book is very emotional at some points, but I did not think it was gonna make me cry, and it made me cry, man. It made me cry a little bit at the end, and I loved the way that the book wrapped up. I'm not gonna lie though, I felt like when I realized how much I had left of the book, it wrapped up fairly quickly. I wish it would slow down just a tad. Honestly, like now that I think about it, no, I feel like the pacing of it at the end was good. I felt like it was a good pace for how the story wrapped up, because you know with books, like there's always a problem that's presented, and then usually there's a wrap up to that, and I like the way and the pace that it did wrap up in this book, and it made me cry. I love that. If a book can make me cry, it's automatically, in my opinion, above a 4.5, which gets me to my next point. What am I rating this book? I've sat on it. It has been a few days, and I've sat on what I want to rate this. I would rate this book, I don't want to rate it a 4 because a 4 is, in my opinion, too low. I think I would rate this book a 4.5. I feel like a 4.75 is too high for me, just because it made me feel good, but I feel like throughout the book, I wish I felt a little bit more, just a tad, for me to give it a higher rating than a 4.5. But a 4.5 is good. Like, that's a good rating. I don't want that to mean like, oh, it was a low rating or anything, and I'm not saying it wasn't a good book. 4.5, that's a great rating to me. I felt like I loved this book. Would I reread this? Yes, I probably would reread it again in the future. Not anytime soon. I feel like this is one of those books that I would want to read at different points in my life, like every decade or so. Like I read this in my 20s. I feel like I would want to read this in mid 30s and see how it would make me feel. But yeah, I loved it. I would definitely say that if you feel like you are stuck, or you're going through a lot, you're dealing with self-doubt, if you are just in a point in your life where you don't really know what you want to do, I would read this book, because I think it opened my eyes to a lot of things that I was feeling, and it helped me. So I definitely recommend reading this book, but do look up the trigger warnings, because it definitely covers a lot of things that could trigger you. But I definitely love this book. Again, I rated it a 4.5. Yeah, I kind of want to give you guys a sneak peek into my next read. Little sneak peek. This is gonna be in my next video, so if you guys are reading this or you wanna read this along with me, stay tuned. Anyway, I just wanna say thank you guys for watching today's video, and I love you guys. So I will see you guys in next video. I'm working on the outros. I don't do outros, so I'm working on them. Anyway, I love you guys. Bye-bye. Bye.